Today's jargon is stimulus control. What? Stimulus control. Doesn't it sound like somebody is being zapped with electricity? It is not that, my friends. We're not talking about the Judge Rottenberg Center at all. Stimulus control, the actual definition, stimulus control is said to occur when an organism behaves in one way in the presence of given stimulus and in another way in its absence. Woohoo! Well, that explains it all, and now we know how to use that, right? We can all go home. Have a long weekend, right? I don't know about you, but I'm like, what? What does that mean? And how does that apply in my life? So let's go to our working definition. Our working definition is teaching someone the equivalent of when you see a stop sign, we stop. Okay, so if you think about this, this is exactly stimulus control, because we all came out of the womb and we didn't know what a stop sign was and we didn't know what to do when we saw a stop sign. But we now, at some point in our upbringing, most of us know, I see a stop sign and I know I'm supposed to stop. That is called being under stimulus control. Our behavior is we see the stop sign and we stop. And if we don't see the stop sign, we continue to go. And if you think about this, how many things in your life are you under stimulus control? How many times do you see something and you react to a certain way? Now, media and advertising loves to take advantage of the fact that we are creatures of habit. And so they try to bring us under stimulus control for things because they want us to spend money and eat things and want things and so on and so forth. But the truth of the matter is, when we're working with individuals who are on the autism spectrum, there are some things that we want to bring under stimulus control. It could be as simple as, the one that I love, the example that I love, when you go into a classroom, because there's cultures of things everywhere, right? You go into a classroom for younger kids, and there are teachers that have hand signals now. Some teachers have a bell, but a lot of teachers have hand signals. And the first time I went into my son's classroom, and at one point the teacher did something and all the kids started holding up 2 fingers. And then one by one, other kids would hold up 2 fingers, and as they did it, they got quiet and centered and still. And eventually the whole class was sitting there like this, and I went, what's this? What? And it's stimulus control. So the teachers train their kids that, instead of having to interrupt constantly and say things, that this means I'm being quiet and I'm listening to the teacher. And that, they've taught the other kids, learn through observation, that when, the teacher does this, it means that, when you see it, it is time for you to stop and do this and say, I got it. I got the signal. I'm sitting and being quiet. So one by one, it becomes viral until all the kids are sitting there and doing that. It's an amazing tool. So stop and think about all the different things that we already want to teach an individual, any individual, but especially for our kiddos that are on the spectrum, it might take them longer to learn something. What kinds of things do we want to bring under stimulus control? And then what kinds of things would it be really helpful if we brought under stimulus control? The possibilities are endless. We want to be mindful that we're teaching things that are healthy and proper and productive and not just, what we want. But obviously in a classroom, if you're going to teach 25 to 35 children, there has to be a way that you have control to get quiet, right? We see on talk shows that where they have multiple guests that they need to have that because they just all talk over each other, right? And you can't do that in a classroom. You're not going to get someplace. So stimulus control, and when you are talking to therapists about your kiddo or somebody says, yes, we want to bring that under stimulus control, that's what they're talking about, so that something will happen and that we will have taught this individual that we have a set reaction to that we don't have when that thing isn't there. It's a very, very powerful tool. How do we bring something under stimulus control? By doing it over and over and over again and giving a reward when the proper reaction happens, right? Okay, so that's stimulus control. It's our jargon for the day. It's a really good one to think about and use.